Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Today's episode is brought to you by Sumerian Records. You hear that face-melting riffage behind my voice. That is the band Face Yourself. Their new EP, Fractures, is out now. It just came out September 26th, so go get your copy now over at SumerianRecords.com. No coupon code needed. Just sign up for the Sumerian email list. While you're over there, you'll see they have Face Yourself skate decks. They have the Fury EP on vinyl. They have clear vinyl, clear and white swirl. They have a digipack. You'll see it all over there. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the merch and the page here on SumerianRecords.com. While you're over there, check out other releases from bands like Born of Osiris, Slaughter to Prevail, Animals as Leaders, 7 Hours After Violet, and many others. Check it all out at SumerianRecords.com. Big thanks to Sumerian Records, not only a great sponsor of the Jasta Show, but also a presenter of the 2026 edition of Milwaukee Metal Fest, which we will have a bunch of news for you on that front this week. While I have you, go check out martyrstore.net and you will save a bunch of money on Milwaukee Metal Fest merch this week. We're blowing out, no coupon code needed, we're blowing out shirts for $15. We got to make room for all the Kirk Winstein and Many Eyes and Jasta merch and new Hatebreed merch. So we're blowing out a Milwaukee Metal Fest merch to make room in the warehouse. $15 shirts this week only at martyrstore.net. And thank you to everybody who contributed to these records and got their names in the thanks list, whether it was Jasta for All, which we just reprinted on a beautiful emerald green vinyl with a gatefold cover now, or the Kirk Winstein Ethereal Waves, Kirk's second solo album. Came out amazing. I can't wait for everyone to hear it. A lot of you have been tagging me in your pre-orders that have arrived nice and early. That will be available digitally and on Bandcamp October 16th. And then, of course, Many Eyes, who are on tour now. Dates are up on the website and on our YouTube page. And go give Many Eyes a sub on YouTube as well. You can see the new lyric videos. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the dates coming by your screen now. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube, leave a comment on today's episode with Katerina from Escuela Grind. And you could have heard this episode way sooner if you would just subscribe over at gasdigital.com or go onto the Jasta Patreon, where you can sit in on these interviews as they happen. Patreon.com/Jasta. And if you don't want to, get any new subscriptions, I get it. You can always donate to the show. PayPal.me/Jasta. Any amount will get you a shout out on the show. I really appreciate everybody who's come out to see Jasta on the Life of Agony tour, which is out now. So if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday, come see us in Leesburg, Virginia. Come see us in Long Island or Worcester or up at Wally's in New Hampshire. We got just about a week of shows left, and then I'm headed over to the UK with Killswitch Engage, Hatebreed, Fit for an Autopsy. But the tour with Life of Agony has been awesome. I got to shout out a bunch of our meet and greeters and our Jam with Jasta folks. Big thank you to Sean Brown from the band Hellraiser, who's going to be playing with Hatebreed in Baltimore at Disturbing the Peace in January. So check out his band Hellraiser. Also got to thank Lincoln Kibitza. He came out and jammed with us on stage in Norwalk at the old Globe there, which is now the District Music Hall. And big shout out to Dion Hall, who came out in Joliet, Illinois. Big shout out to Gary Johnson, who I met in Flint, Michigan. Got some killer photos of his Hatebreed tattoos. Also want to shout out Kyle Zabo. Sorry if I'm jacking up your last name, Kyle. Thanks for coming out in Ohio. And big shout out to The First. They came to the show in Columbus too, and I just did a song with them, which is out now. Oh wait, I don't think it's out yet, but shout out to Micah, shout out to everybody who came out so far. These shows have been great. Jersey, Connecticut, Columbus was a blast. Who did I miss from Columbus? Jared Selesky, thank you so much, Jared. Shout out to Jared. John Hankis, who came out with his family in Jersey, shout out to John. And big shout out to Chris Shorts and his buddy who came out in Cleveland. Man, Cleveland was a great time. I'll talk about that on the Tour Diary podcast that we'll put up on Patreon this week. We saw Waylon. Shout out to Waylon Revis, from A Killer's Confession. Going to get him back on the podcast. Oxjaw opened the show. It was great. But this episode today with Katerina from Escuela Grind is brought to you by Raining Phoenix Music. Head on over to rainingphoenixmusic.com and go pre-order the new Agnostic Front album. It is gonna be a banger. I've already heard a bunch of it, and great job by everyone involved. Mike Dijon, Roger, Stigma, Mike Gallo, and the boys. I will do a full review of the record on the Patreon show, but check out rainingphoenixmusic.com after the podcast today and go pre-order Echoes in Eternity from Agnostic Front. New York hardcore legends back with a brand new album packed with bangers. 15 new tracks from legendary New York hardcore pioneers. You're going to love it. It even includes a collab with hip-hop icon DMC on the track Matter of Life and Death. Big thanks to Raining Phoenix Music. Check out shopus.rainingphoenixmusic.com after the podcast today. Raining Phoenix is also a presenter of the Milwaukee Metal Fest, and we are happy to have them as a sponsor. Maybe we got to get Agnostic Front on Milwaukee Metal Fest 2026. Leave a comment below. Maybe you want to see Escuela Grind on Milwaukee Metal Fest 2026. We got a bunch of announcements coming your way. We'll leave a comment, and we will see. All right, we got Katerina from Escuela Grind on today's show. Hit the music.
My friend, the lead singer of Hatebreed, the infamous and notorious Jamey Jasta is in the building. That's what's up.
Jamey Jasta from the metal band Hatebreed. That guy's famous.
Coffee, death metal, and push-ups.
That's Jamey Jasta. Remember Jamey Jasta? You know him. He's a podcaster, but he's a metal man.
I would say delete that.
That shit is hard.
What's good?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there. Excellent. How are you?
Good, thanks. I appreciate you doing this on short notice.
Dude, hell yeah. It's just, thank you. Thank you for asking me, man.
No problem. Yeah, we're going out on the road together, so I figured, why not?
Hell yeah. Absolutely, dude. I'm so excited. It's like the feedback that we've been getting and just in general I've been seeing, like everyone's excited, really excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And we haven't toured the States in the summer in a long time, and we're having a crazy heat wave here right now. And
Really, it's been cold as shit here, so
really, yeah, today
yeah.
it's like almost 90 degrees out, and
Right.
so I'm getting that like summer feeling, that summer excitement. Plus I'm feeling like I should try to lose like 35 pounds between now and July.
Yeah,
So
for real.
when it's nice out, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go out. I'll go for a run this evening. But what do you do to prepare for tour? And have you toured in the summer recently? And
Yeah.
are we gonna be dying in this heat wave or what? Especially since we're going to Florida in July. That's
I know. Well, we've been kind of like y'all in that we've been going to Europe over the summers, which is awesome because, you know, the festival season's fantastic there. But, you know, it's Europe, so it's like no ice in the drinks, no AC a lot of places. So we're kind of used to it now. But like the hospitality makes up for it over there 10 times over. I guess shit, what do I do to prepare? I always say I'm gonna like work out and stuff and do that, but I've been in the time between tours recently, I've been substitute teaching. So I've just been focused
oh
on like
nice.
not getting sick from the little kids.
Right on. That's great. And what grade is it?
I do like elementary school, so I'm mostly they like putting me with the younger kids because I really do well with them. But it's like 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Oh, that's awesome. And do any of the parents ever recognize you? Do you have any like hardcore death metal metalhead parents that come in?
For sure, yeah. Actually, someone I work with is an old friend. It's in the school district that I grew up in, so a lot of the kids are like my classmates' kids too. So they all know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I have a 3-year-old that we watch while I'm home, and it's been the best experience because my daughter is 26, and so she's like, whatever. she's doing her own thing. But with the
Absolutely.
3-year-old, it's just like we're reliving all those early memories like what we had with our daughter. And my wife is was a preschool teacher. Um, and I'm seeing like he's socializing with the bigger kids and
Yeah.
uh and he's talking up a storm and it's really fun because then I get to show him things and we'll be out in the yard or we'll go into nature and it's like it's a totally different vibe, but it creates balance for when I'm off the road. So that's great for you because it's probably like you get to lead a somewhat normal life, and then you're in a van driving 18 hours, getting out, loading the merch, jumping up on stage, and doing this other
Absolutely.
crazy grindy schedule. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But what is like the most rewarding part? Would you say
Ooh, of touring, I would
of
assume,
of,
right?
of
Yeah.
teaching?
Oh, of teaching. Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, I don't have any kids myself, so to like get that experience, but while also, you're there to teach them. So I'm really focused in what I do and like all the empathy that I wish I had when I was a little kid or that I didn't perceive I had maybe, like I get to kind of give that to them. So that's the most rewarding part. And they're funny. They're so funny. Like the things that they pick up on that I try and show them stuff, like since I was born in 91. So when I was 5, 6, it was like 96, 97. Great era, I know, for a lot of people, but I get to show them stuff from then, be like, this is what was cool when I was your kid. And I never can guess the stuff that they pick up on, like the stuff that they like. Like I can never ever guess it. It's always not what I think. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the things that they say to each other and stuff too is just a riot. And
Yes.
he's at that age now where he's asking a lot of questions and he's got the funniest little accent and he'll be like, "Is that your brother? Is that your sister?"
I
And
love it.
yeah, no, it's super fun. And because these last couple tours that we've done, and I remember we saw you like we did shows in Germany, right? Like
That's
we saw
right.
you guys
Yeah.
last year. But you've had time off since then, right? Like you haven't been on the road straight. You
No,
do you
not this
take
year.
off do you take off like 2 months at a time, 3 months at a time?
Varies. I think we've been kind of shifting our gears since we're still like for all intents and purposes, smaller, newer band. So we've like kind of been reprioritizing things. Like in the beginning, it was really important for us to be like no days off, always on the road. As many people as possible, as many shows as possible, and that's great. And that served its purpose for a while. But now we're a bit more. I don't want to say selective because that's not the right word, but like we have to be a bit more conscientious of how we're booking and what we're doing to our bodies. Like I messed up my body pretty bad on a couple tours back, and that's going to be a forever thing. So it just puts that into perspective a bit. And we all have our different hobbies, and now our youngest member, she has a steady relationship, and she's just now being able to get an apartment on her own and stuff because we've been home long enough to do those things. Like she joined the band at 20. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember seeing a picture of you with a neck brace on, and so
Yeah.
you're still dealing with that. You're still dealing with the ramifications of that.
Well, that one was a gift in that it was short-lived, and maybe I'm still kind of dealing with it. It's just another concussion in the list of concussions that I've had, and there was a hairline fracture, so I was able to recover from that quickly. But I, uh, my lowest disc is now out of place and pushes on my nerves there. So that was, and insurance is awful. I can't really get the right special formula to get them to approve what I need. So it's been managing though. Like it's been a while, so you learn to live with it.
Right. Yeah, I remember Scott Vogel from Terror had a real issue with his neck, and he ended up having to go to Mexico to get stem cells.
Damn.
Um, but
Yeah.
that's something you should definitely look into. But I would imagine, um, like most bands that are in your situation, you can do somewhat of a cost benefit analysis now, right? Like ahead of tour and because it was funny. Malevolence just reached out to us
Oh, good.
about something like having to do with merch. Like, oh yeah, we want to we want to do some projections. I'm like, back in the day, like nobody would, like, we never did that. We just rolled the dice. We make a shit
Yeah,
ton of shirts, but yeah, it's a risk, right? Like someone in
absolutely.
the band is gonna take a net loss if you don't do a cost benefit analysis of which tour and which offers, and can you do side shows? Are you limited to radius clauses? Are you limited on merch?
Hmm.
So did those types of decisions go into this last tour with Oceano?
Yeah, to an extent. I Somewhat. I kind of take on that analysis portion of it, and we're really fortunate and privileged that we have really great working connections with the people we've been working with for a while now. So, like, merch is never an issue. They get it to us. They get it to us well and on time. So I never have to worry about those things. It's just we play so many different types of tours, like the Oceano tour. That's like deathcore, very almost all of the bands were like very much more deathcore than we usually ever lean. So I was like, I don't know what type of merch they like to buy. I don't know what to expect. I just don't know. So we do roll the dice quite often, but I try and be a bit reasonable about it just so I personally feel very responsible for my bandmates' well-being on the road, and I kind of tour mom it a little bit to everyone's chagrin, I think. But yeah, I really try and be on top of that stuff. So Europe has become very, I'm not sure about where things will go. Like we have
The
a great
sizes
following.
especially. Yeah.
We have a great following and like a great route, and we have really great booking agent over there. But it's like, I don't know, like we can predict things. We're living in it here in the United States. We know people are hurting for money right now here. We know what kind of like stuff people are going to want when they come to see us. It's like over there, I don't know the reality very well. So yeah.
Right. With the deathcore crowd, I remember we did a tour and it was like, I think we took out, I want to say we took out All Shall Perish, or it was Whitechapel we took out and All Shall Perish. And then we had a band called D's Nuts,
Yeah,
who they kind of like lean like kind of rap core. And I
for sure.
remember the, the, the biggest selling shirt was the one with the profanity on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
uh,
impactful on the back.
but when you did this tour with mostly deathcore bands, how did you like the reaction? Do you feel like it's better when you're the standout, or do you like when the tours are more similar types of
Yeah.
bands?
Oh no, I think we have the benefit and like the awesome combination of like who we are, what we combined, what we do. We can work with a lot of packages, and we always seem to be the odd duck out, which I think is like the best way to tour. We're always being put out in front of new people, which is like rare these days. I think our bubbles, like I describe it as like the social media bubbles we're all in, and like that's both limiting and inside and literally outside. Like in your mind, it's limiting because then you kind of try and please the bubble, but and like the terms of touring, it's very limiting because you're gonna be in the same circuit, same people every time, which is great. I think that works really well for some bands that have it really figured out. They got everything honed in. They got, it's that's not really how we are though.
Right.
We're always experimenting. We're always changing. We're still new. We're still green. We're fucking up here and there, but we're always trying something different. So I like to be that band that is the odd one out.
Was it strange to have all that weird attention on that tour? It didn't seem like it really mattered because the tour seemed to do well regardless. But that is, you mentioned um, the algorithms and the just the stuff online. I noticed when I was in one account, I would see the negative comments, and then
Yeah,
when I was in another account, I guess because on that account I don't ever engage with negative comments on my personal account.
yeah,
I saw the positive comments and I was like,
yeah,
wow, that's so weird that they will display the negative comments so you see them while you're scrolling by
yep.
as like and it made me think maybe that would be to their benefit because
Perfectly.
more publicity, and it really is true. I believe that any publicity is good publicity, but
If you have thick skin for it, because I do truly believe like if you have the thick skin to deal with whatever, and if it truly doesn't matter to you and you just want to write music and play it, and like all that other stuff is outside, then yes, any publicity is good publicity. To an extent, I guess, but but if you're the type that really internalizes things and really takes it to heart and lets it affect the musical output, then that's it's a cancer. It really is. So no, but that is
See,
very interesting that they would show you two different things, two different algorithms so clearly.
yeah, no, and it I've always distrusted it to the maximum
Yeah.
level. Um, but yeah, I think we need to teach people. There needs to be a course on how to get the thick skin and how
Yeah.
to and I guess I'm from that time where you would just go and confront the people. It was never through. I mean,
Yeah.
occasionally we definitely had those hate mail letters, like where people took the time to write you a letter and say, "You fucking suck. I hope you never come back to my town." Blah 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 blah. And those always cracked me up.
Oh
But
yeah.
the couple times that we did confront the people, if especially if they were ever like sort of pseudo threatening or whatever, they would always sing a different
Oh yeah.
song
No,
and dance.
I found the same thing, and it's online now, so it's an instant gratification kind of thing. But we've had a few people that are just really incessantly like on everything, like X, Y, and Z, like just shit talking, and then I'm like, I'm gonna roll the dice on this. I send them like a private message, being like, "What's up? Like, what do you need? What's going on?" And every single time, like we become like these strange allies, like friends through it all. They just really want someone to talk to most of the time. It's like this you've become this like paragon in their life, or like a not paragon, you've become like a symbol in their life about something that irks them or something that they're not getting out of life, and you become the symbol for that. So it's just they pick, and then when you give them attention to hear them out, like, why am I the symbol for you of this, it becomes like, oh well, then maybe now I can relate to you on something, and we might not see eye to eye, or you might not even like me, or but we took the time to talk to each
Hash it
other.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Oceano, I still don't know
Yeah, I'm
what
not sure.
exactly happened. I never
It's not
really
my
read
world.
into it.
Yeah.
But I think you've had similar situations where people, they want to feel morally superior to you, and their only way to do that is to try to take you down a peg or take your band down a peg on social media. But to I guess compare it to the Oceano situation, they really broke the band up. Like that,
Yeah.
like you were saying, they took it to heart. It seemed, or at least that's what I was
Well,
seeing
yeah.
online.
It's like, I think in their situation, people have become very parasocial over a long period of time. And, I mean, we were asked very quickly to fill in, and we at first were like, oh yeah, dope, like this is awesome, like love that band, it's can't believe it's over kind of a thing. But then we had to have that moment of like, ooh, like there's all this stuff being said, like I respect the band that dropped as well, so it's like, what's going on. And we took a few like industry people's advice, and most of them said not to do it. I'm not going to lie, like it's
Really?
like, oh yeah, don't add any more fuel to people's fire. And at the end of the day, we sat down all together as a band, because we were on tour at that time, and we were like, listen, like the people that are showing up, it's their last tour ever. These are the lifers, these are the people that have been with them, ride or dies. Like, what kind of
Yeah.
fans do we want? We want those fans. We want people that are there for the music, loyal till the very end. And it's all the other bands on the tour were fantastic. Like, everyone was so kind, everyone was excited. It's a great opportunity. And, any reservations that we may have had before kind of squashed that, because we were like, at the end of the day, these shows are going to sell out. There's going to be hundreds of people there, and they're going to be lifers and open-minded people. I think open-minded enough to like grind hardcore death metal band like us in this packaging. So yeah, I mean, and it's exactly how it was. It really was. It was wholesome. Adam is such a nice guy. I really feel terrible that he had to internalize that stuff from the internet, and also be a figure, like a big figure in his community. And just everyone was great. The tour package was great. The staff, fantastic. Great time. One of
Yeah.
my favorite
I,
tours.
a lot of the times, just the internet isn't real.
No, it's not.
It's just not real. And I try to explain that, especially when because I've been on a lot of tours where you see them internalizing it.
Hmm.
And the people do really, and because there was this time where it would be like, well, just don't look at it. But you have to, because a lot of times you're engaging with the fans, or you're engaging with people, or you're doing little deals, or and it's just easier through social media. Especially if you're not necessarily at that place where you want to give someone your number, or you want to give someone your personal email. Especially if you're like me and you have a really bad time with names and faces, then you can go to the profile and it says like what band
Yeah.
they're in. Because I'm like, how many dudes do I know with the same name or the same, and
Yeah.
um Hey everybody, it's Jamey jumping in here to remind you that today's episode is brought to you by Sumerian Records. You hear that banger behind my voice? That is the new track from the band Face Yourself, off the EP Fury, which is available now at SumerianRecords.com. You want to see the band Face Yourself live? Maybe you want to see them on Summer Slaughter 2026. Leave a comment below and go pick up a copy of the Fury EP now at SumerianRecords.com. Big thanks to Sumerian Records, a great sponsor of the Jasta Show and presenter of the 2026 edition of the Milwaukee Metal Fest. SumerianRecords.com for releases from Born of Osiris, Animals as Leaders, Slaughter to Prevail, and many more. SumerianRecords.com, link is in the show notes. Now back to the show. But, going back to, just having heard things about your band, I would go, well, first of all, the internet's not real. And second of all, how are these people who are like in your comments, how are they all reality able to think that they know a full situation, or they know like who you are as people? And because you got to be pretty stupid to make a character assessment based off of like a he said, she said type of thing. And I
Yeah,
think
I
the
brought
more,
up.
I mean, I think the more we talk about that as anybody, like anybody, you don't even, not even just in a band, it could be any sort of quote unquote public figure. It is kind of weird to think that someone can just say whatever they want. And then all of a sudden, I mean, God forbid you end up in like a Richard Gere scenario. You're very young, but did you ever hear about Richard
Yeah,
Gere?
yeah, the hamster scenario. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, and Sylvester Stallone made that up, and you go,
yeah.
holy fuck. You would hear idiots parroting that shit all the time,
Sure.
because it was, and we've had the most insane stuff throughout the years.
Oh,
Back in the day, it was even worse.
for
But
sure.
when my daughter got to be like a little bit older, I started thinking, oh my God, the story she's must hear. And she would come to me and ask me about certain stuff. But how has it been now? It seems like you guys have really outgrown any of the, I guess, online negativity, or you seem to deal with it really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a reality for us for one reason or another. Lots of it we invited upon ourselves and how we got out there, and lots of it, being at the end of the day, we also represent our identity politics, and that for young people has become uh, something that's inextricable from art and from what you do, which I think there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but also it's leaves a lot to be desired in the realm of you have to really be a strong role model, and so there's no room for fucking up, and there's no room uh, to come back from that in some people's minds, and that's fair. I think that's really that's if that's the way of progress, then I'm on board with that. If that means that much to somebody, then yeah, that's their truth, and I'm fine with that. I'm still gonna do my thing. So that's always been our mentality, is like no matter what comes our way, like we're not in this to be popular per se. Like I guess we're in this to one, make our music and art, and two, like play a bunch of shows, and with that comes uh been like going around popularity and whatnot. But for me, it's also not a given. Like, and for my other bandmates as well. Like any opportunity we have, we've always felt like could be gone the next day. If the train stops moving, people get off, sort of a mentality, just because it's not handed to us. Like I mean, people seem to think the opposite of that, but we've always made things happen for us. In the early days, we would book shows and festivals, and as you know, like that invites a lot of criticism into that. If you don't book a band that asks to be booked, then there's a beef that way. If you're like have a goal of it being inclusive and you're leaving out, cis white men, then maybe that's not the move every time. But there's all these different factors that have come of us trying to make something for ourselves to fit into and get and grow. And with that, you got to have the thick skin and roll with the punches when it don't go your way. And I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do much differently. There's a few things definitely in our career that I would take more time with, more respect with, really vet myself and others to do better. And a lot of that's personal communication, interpersonal communication skills. But I'm not
Yeah, that's
perfect by any
huge.
means. I'm,
Yeah.
still learning.
Don't you find though that everybody in there, not everybody, but a lot of people in heavy music, especially I feel like in the crustier ends of the scene,
Yeah.
because back in the day, we would try to play ABC No Rio or try to play Gilman, and it was like
Yeah.
no way. But we did tours where we played squats, but it was too metal for the punkers and the grind,
Mhm.
and then it was too hardcore for the metal and the death
Yeah.
metal. So we just had to find our own lane. But what I noticed in dealing with a lot of those tours and dealing with um, people who knew that we were kind of on the come up and were having success was that a lot of people were really threatened by that or really disliked
Mm.
that because they kind
Yeah.
of felt a camaraderie in keeping it small and keeping it
Hmm.
tight and no outsiders. And
Hmm.
um you know one group would say, oh, our fans were jocks. The other group would say our fans were white trash. You just could never win.
For sure.
Excuse me. And you know, I see that with you guys a little bit as well because you obviously, you have grind in your name, right?
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
came up in the DIY world.
Mhm.
But do you think it's like there's just a lot of people with a touch of the tism too? And maybe the tism can be like you're talking about intercommunication. Like sometimes with the tism, there's people that are like they're very rigid in their thinking and
Yeah.
they would get, I guess, called elitist now, but really they're
Hmm.
just like kind of on the spectrum and they just like what they like. And if you're coming on there, like when we were coming through with Voorhees or
Yeah.
um or
Ooh.
one of the the crusty bands, they were like, who the fuck are these guys? Why are they playing the show? And they would be
Yeah.
mad because they had that rigid. Now I look back and I think maybe everybody just had a little touch of the tism.
It's in the lead and the gasoline, maybe. But no,
Yeah.
that's literally the center paradox of counterculture, though. It's pervasive through all counterculture. I really believe it's like you want the control of it being within your small group, but you also like want things to grow. I don't think anyone's really truly um, I don't know, maybe there's some outliers that are extremist in that way that they don't want things to succeed at all. And money gets thrown in there because it has to. That's the reality of things. So selling out, we used to call it and whatnot. But I think so, growing up in the early internet days and the MySpace and whatnot, with the accessibility to music being so broadened, it created all these bands of that time and up until now that have really honed in on like these niches of combining these two things. So what comes to mind is Weekend Nachos when you say stuff like that. They were very much power violence, which has that Gilman sort of what I guess what we would call like elitist. I don't like whether or not they're elitist or not, but it's like that very insular, very justice based. You know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You described it better, but they have that world, and they also have they called themselves jock power violence, which would invite in a jockier, hardcore, more thing. And they were right in the Midwest, which never had the first or second gen waves of power violence. Maybe a few exceptions in the second generation. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there was a few bands that were in that early era there. But at any rate, like, they made a conscious effort to combine those two very disparate things, you would think on paper, but they did it well and they did it exciting. And there was enough young people that were like, oh, what's power violence? What is that? I never heard of that. And, they just hit the nail on the head at the right moment. And so that created its own thing. So I think there's a lot of examples like that, kind of take that paradox of counterculture and use it to their advantage. I mean,
Yeah.
we've certainly tried to
Created their own
follow
lane.
that model. Exactly. And I mean, y'all have been around long enough too, to where you've been able to try so many different things and manipulate that sort of, like you said, you found your own way, and all the bands that I can remember growing up on and looking up to were bands that did that. Like y'all Converge, I think, was very successful of being like the weirdo band that was combining all that stuff together and made it palatable to almost everyone on MySpace, I'll say.
Yeah.
There's so many different, like we toured with Baroness. They're like another great example, I think, of combining what they combined with heavy, so yeah.
Yeah, and you named two bands right there, that I mean, everybody in the band's exceptional, but they're exceptional people, so they've been able to do things that are exceptional. And
Exactly.
but you have to just keep showing. I think if as long as you're showing up and you're giving it your best shot, and that's goes beyond music. I'm sure you see it with teaching, right? When
Mhm.
you give your best and you go in with gratitude, or you go in with a positive mindset, it's people feel that energy. And
Oh, for
so
sure. For sure.
what I always felt was, anytime there was detractors or there were naysayers and they were at the show, once they spoke to us or once they saw the sort of cathartic unity that people had within the set, and afterwards too, and the camaraderie, then they were like, oh wow, I judged a book by its cover, or I just misjudged the band. And I see that with you guys as well too, where then people will say, like, we have a ton of people on the Patreon. They're like, they're the best. They're so cool. I see them here. They follow your shows and stuff. And they're in the chat here. We're going to get to it in a second.
Oh, good. Yeah, we have great
Um,
fans. Like we really make a very conscious effort to be available to our fans when we play live. Like we all go to the merch table, we all hang out. We'll smoke with our fans, we'll have a drink with our fans. It without them, we wouldn't be here, one, and two, I feel very much like I am a fan of so many other bands that it was always like my like dream to just hang out with the people that inspired me. And I actually listened to your podcast that you did with Vinny Stigma, and like
oh,
I felt that
nice.
way about Vinny Stigma. And like, I want to like come off to people as like, oh, you could sit down and have a conversation to me, just like I felt like how I could with him. And he's actually the first person that ever put a microphone on my face and let me scream along. So, like that
Really
that that kind of, yeah, oh yeah. In Pittsfield, Massachusetts, there was like probably 20 people there. It was great.
nice. You're gonna have to go to his 70th.
Oh yeah.
They just announced it, December 6th. Everybody go to Stigma's birthday. Keep the date
Yeah.
off. Like, don't
Yes.
book any shows in December. We'll book some shows in December, just not on the 6th, because Stigma's 70th is gonna be legendary.
Hell yeah.
But no, we had a lot of people just saying that you guys were fun, and and it was people, the fans that we were meeting out by the bus, and our road crew and other people in the band, that were like, we should have them on more shows. They were fun. Like, they were cool. Sometimes you get people that are
Oh
very, like, they go to the dressing room, they don't want to talk, or
yeah,
their road crew is like, we're too busy, or they're burnt. Sometimes you'll get,
for
especially in
sure.
Europe,
Yeah,
where it's like
totally
they
understand.
drove in and they barely make it.
Oh, your
But yeah,
Europe crew is fun though. Like we were all having a great time. You shout out Yorgos George, he's the best. Love him. Like we still keep in touch. Like they're great. Like, and
yeah.
that's kind of like very, I've found like that's pretty normal in Europe, but like over here, we're starting to really try and create that vibe of the hospitality and whatnot of being able to hang out afterwards with people because I don't know, we just never take it for granted. Always want to be doing this, so just gotta live it up while we can.
No, it's a good attitude to have. Also, I think, and it relates to what we were talking about with the stuff on the internet because you lose that connection.
Hmm.
And this was something I used to have to explain to people because they would they would look at the videos, or they would just hear about the show and they would go, like one time, I don't know if you remember this guy, Kimbo Slice. He was like
Hmm.
an MMA fighter, great
Yeah.
dude. One time I had him on the podcast, but he had watched videos of our shows before. And then when I met him, he goes, "Are they fighting? Like, what are they doing? They're
Yeah.
kicking and they're putting," and he just was like, he was so just enamored with it. He was like, "That's amazing. Like, what are they?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's controlled violence, but it's therapy for them because some people,
Exactly.
they've never even been, for guys that train in MMA, they're used to dudes like grabbing on them and trying to strangle them every day. And
Yeah.
that alone, I feel like is kind of lost right now. There are people that have never even been touched by another person and their
Yeah.
life is fucked. And that's why they're on
Yeah.
the internet being miserable. And we all, as cliche as it sounds, misery loves company. So I always tell people like, yeah, go to a show, like go to, like, I don't trust people who've never been to a Guar show. Agnostic Front is a great one.
Yep.
So you saw a Stigma solo or you
Yeah,
saw,
I saw the Stigma band. Yeah. Oh,
nice.
I've
Yeah,
seen Agnostic Front before as well, but Stigma came to our local record store in Pittsfield. It's a very special, like, intimate thing, and it was great. This would have been, like, 2009, I think,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
2008.
Yeah, I did that record. I produced that
Yeah,
record and I sang on it and stuff, and, like, we've been trying to get it back. Hopefully, he'll get it back and re-release it,
I hope so.
but he's
Oh,
doing another one too.
that's great. Damn,
Yeah.
70. That's so like, goals. I really, really hope I can have that longevity, but I think it's, like, you could see it in him, though, like, he lives like he's young, like, forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just feels that way, so,
And
yeah.
you know what he was always good about, and I love this about Stigma, is that he always went to the doctor when he was off the road. More bands and more people need to do that. Um,
Mm,
I remember when he had a little scare with the colon cancer, and then he nipped it in the bud, and like literally like nipped it in the bud, snipped it in the bud, and
yeah.
and got it out or whatever it was, polyps or whatever it was, and but then was on the road.
Yeah,
Like
that's
literally 2 weeks later, he had a great doctor. Um, but yeah, like you were saying, it's harder, right? It's harder just with our healthcare system. That's why I've been telling everybody, go to Mexico, go to
yeah.
Panama if you can.
Yeah, I'm here for it, really, truly, like, I've been putting off a lot of stuff in my own health and wealth, but yeah, no, there's nothing more important than that if you wanna have longevity. I heard all, like, the old heads we had toured with, "old heads," quote, unquote, but all the old heads we toured with, they really impressed that upon me and well, in the DIY days, I used to, like, bash myself in the skull, make myself bleed, and wrap my head in tape, and just do dumb shit like that just for the performance of it all, and I'm dealing with the repercussions of that, but, I mean, I should have
Are
listened to
you
that back then.
are you into wrestling?
I've late in life, into wrestling, I'll say. Like, more recently have I gotten really into, like, the subculture of it all and going back in history and going past, like, the people we grew up with. Like, I had my people, when I was growing up, like, oh my god, no one cooler than China. Like, I just wanted to be China when I was young.
Wow.
Like, truly, truly just the coolest. And so, like, I had those influences when I was younger, but now I'm starting to there's a real like the wrestling world is very well documented, I feel, and they're very open. So I've been digging into that more recently and following like the news storylines and stuff too. So yeah.
They would say you used so when you would cut yourself, what is it? They're like, "Oh, you gave yourself color," or what do
Yeah.
they say? They
Well,
they 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 have their
yeah.
little, like, their terms and stuff, but Stigma, I wonder if Michael can find the clip. Have you seen Stigma Wrestling in the indie circuit?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God,
I got
this is
to.
one of the greatest things. Mike, can you see if you can do Vinny Stigma wrestling or indie wrestling or Vinny Stigma wrestling,
It's awesome.
professional wrestling, and see if you can show the clip?
Hell
It's
yeah.
incredible because it's not even that long ago. I think it's like a year or two ago. So he would be 66 or 67 going off the top ropes and stuff.
That's
Or not,
awesome.
maybe not going off the top ropes, but definitely. Let me see if I can find it. I might be able to share it on my screen. And while I'm over here, I'm going to look at the chat. Kid Rock 2, which is the funniest screen name. I don't know. I know he's given us a backstory about it, but he says Cat Kills It Live, one of the best, horns up. Jeffrey Kuhn says, great band. First time seeing them was with Acacia Strain. Got a free button from Katerina.
Great.
Yeah, Acacia Strain they were like one of the highlights of the Milwaukee Metal Fest. They just
sure.
absolutely ripped it. And people were giving me a hard time. They were like, "Why'd you put them on the small stage?" And then when you got in there and you realized,
Yeah.
due to insurance and the capacity, we can have more people in there if we don't have a barricade, and then we have to pay out the ass to not have a barricade. We have to have a fucking insane insurance policy. But because of
That matters.
that,
Yeah.
but because of that, it was just, I mean, I think they jammed I don't even want to say the number just in case the fire marshal sees us,
On a
but
record.
they jammed so many people in there, and it was legendary. I mean, people are still talking about it. So everybody, then I got a lot of messages the next day and the day after saying, okay, I guess you were right about putting them on that small stage, because we've had these sets in years past with Morbid Saint and with Unearth and with a bunch of bands in there. It's just a vibe. And Acacia Strain, I feel like they, in a sense, have gained all these new fans recently. It's like
100%.
it's like gotten that's the beauty of heavy music, is that it'll find the ears that it needs to find, through organically through word of mouth. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Oh my goodness. I can just hurt too. I can't. That's sick. Lots of them. They've had such a crazy life. All of them.
No, he's won at life. His apartment, his apartment is still rent controlled. So he's paying like 70s, 80s rent. I mean, talk about in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
I worked for a painter who had the same situation. Soho penthouse. His bottom neighbor was the guy from CSI. He was paying like $700. It was insane. He was great. Funny.
He collects
great.
steins too. Like his place. I
Yeah.
remember he used to have like all these like beer steins from all over the world. So what nationality are you? You're Greek?
I'm half Greek, half Portuguese.
Okay, all right, yeah. Because and how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Economou in Greek, but like Americanized people say Economou. That's Americanized. Yeah.
But it's pronounced Economou.
That's right.
Okay. And have you played Greece?
Not yet. We're trying to venture into the Balkans just now. I mean, I know the reality. I've been to Greece, not like the cool touristy parts or anything, but like the part where my family's from, and it's great. I love any country in the Balkans. I love it's feels right. Like I get it. I get the culture. Like love the people.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But yeah, we're doing Romania. That's the closest I think we've. Well, maybe not the closest geographically, but the closest in spirit, I think. So we're doing like a Rockstat festival in August. So
that's
I'm
a
excited for that.
long drive up into the mountains. Just wait. Just be warned now, because there's no Jersey barrier.
Oh,
There's
when I went to
no
Albania, it was like that. There's no barriers. You're driving up a mountain, like the road's like, it was pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and you gotta pause while they go around. I mean, I thought it was scary in Brazil back in the day, where we'd get to a bridge and they'd be like, all right, everybody out of the bus. And it wasn't like a tour bus, it was like a Greyhound bus.
Yeah.
And and then you got to walk across the wood bridge as the
Yeah.
bus goes over, and you're like, oh my god, and it's things like, "Arr!"
Yeah.
But that festival is awesome. I had a really good time at that festival in
Good.
Romania, and we had turned it down so many years because I'm like, I had heard about you got to fly, you got to have like a triple connection, then you got to drive 4 hours, and then it's up into the mountains, and it's
Mhm.
insane.
Mhm.
And so I said, well, if we're doing this, we're going to do it the first day.
Mhm.
And it was a lot. But then somebody, I think it was Incantation, they
Right.
figured out there was an airport, like a small airport.
Yeah.
And the only
Yeah.
way to get to there is to connect through Dusseldorf. So if you got to
Oh.
fly, you
Huh.
got to follow the Incantation way. And I think you have
Hmm.
to connect through Dusseldorf, but then you don't have to,
Nice.
land and drive 4 hours or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, well, now they have like direct flights from New JFK to Romania, which wasn't a thing before. So I'm like, do we do that? So I don't know. So I'll figure it out. Ugh. I
Do you do you
thank
do you
you
find
for that. Though.
No problem. Do you find that the Greek people are more willing to check your band out because you're half Greek? Like I always
Oh
feel
yeah.
like the Greeks, out of anybody, they want to support their own.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
When they
Gus
find out,
G.
yeah. When they
Yeah.
find out, it's not immediately obvious because of Escuela. Escuela is not Greek. Is so, it's not immediately obvious, but when they see my name, they know. I get all the comments and all the messages in there, which is awesome. I love that about my people. Same Portuguese people are the same way. Like, uh, kind of not a lot of stuff goes down into, mainland Portugal past Lisbon and Porto. So like, and anything else that comes through there, that it's like there's a real excitement about it. Like Portugal's like the only place we've been where we've gone into the hotel and like the person like looked up from the desk and was like, "Oh my God, it's you!" Like, we're like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, Portugal's fun. We're going back next month.
Nice.
Haven't been there in years, but we played there actually with Agnostic Front, and it was off the hook.
Oh
They
yeah.
they they go hard. Like, they almost go too hard. Like, I think it was, like, one of those things where, like, the barrier is gonna go down, the floor is gonna cave in.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you remember what band names you that didn't make the cut that you were leaning towards before you decided on Escuela Grind?
Oh gosh, not too many. We just kind of so the name came about when we were jamming one day. Jesse was playing a D beat and I was just yelling nonsense over it, and I just chose to yell "Escuela, Escuela" over it, and it just kind of like hit in the moment, and we are like, all right, let's just go with that. There was no stakes to it. It was just me, Jesse, and at the time we had our original guitar player who was like the only other kid in town who liked grindcore music, and that was in Ithaca, New York. We don't live there anymore. We haven't lived there in a while, but it's a big school town too. So it's like two colleges, it's like everything runs around that. So we're like, oh, that's kind of tongue in cheek and cute. And we went with it. Gosh, there was probably, well, we had to change it to Escuela Grind because we got sued. So at that point, we were like, it was we got sued or a cease and desist, I guess, with the intent to sue. And then we tried talking it out with them. They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't budge. And then they just started getting everything taken down. So Bandcamp, Spotify, every YouTube video, like Hey 56 got a cease and desist. They told us about it and everything.
Wait,
And
what under what name?
Escuela, just Escuela. That's what it used to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so then, like, just to get our music up, we were like, what do we do? Like, going on tour and we have no music up. We have no YouTube up anymore. Like, what are we gonna do? And we're just like, our Instagram name is Escuela Grind. Let's just go with that and let's not look back. And so that's how the grind got added to it. And as soon as we did that, we were adding less and less grind in our
Right.
final output of music, of course. But
Right.
yeah,
Wow.
always at the core of it.
So you didn't, I mean, thank God you didn't do AD, right? Because there's too many ADs now, I think.
Yeah.
Escuela AD, Escuela
Yeah.
BC. Like, did you have other things that you wanted to add before you added the grind,
Yeah.
or you just settled on the grind because it was the social
Well,
media
we
page?
we tried to fight it at first because like the people that were suing us, they like spelled escuela wrong, and like there were cover bands like that was local. I just don't think they liked that we existed. They weren't local. They were like for an hour away from us, and he had like a company with lawyers and stuff. He was just able to do all this stuff, and so we tried to fight it because it's like you don't even spell it the same way. We're not doing the same circuit. Like this seems like it might be personal. For whatever reason, they just wouldn't budge. So after we tried to fight it, it was kind of exhausting. We were like, well, can we do Escuela? Like do it twice? Like, can we, like, what can we do? I don't know. And it just was easiest just to do whatever it was on social media was what it became. And, but then it was like, everyone had something to say about it. They're like, well, why can't you make the grind tiny and do the name big? And like, it was like, everything was too many cooks. So we're just like, fuck it. Just, it's all one big word, put it on a t-shirt, let's go.
Yeah. Ithaca used to have a cool little scene, actually. Like I
Yeah.
remember playing, what was it, The Haunt?
Yeah. It's no longer
Yeah.
there, but it was, yeah, it was great. It lasted, we played the Hunt many times in our early days. Great place.
Nice.
With the two schools being there, you get like the little school unions that'll have the underground shows and whatnot. Really indie reggae, like hippie stoner kind of stuff goes off there, or did. It's been a while
Yeah.
since we lived there, but homeboy, famous recording artist or recording studio owner lived there. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, which is bad. What was his? Oh no, yeah, and Carl Sagan too. Jesse popped in to be like Carl Sagan.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
So
a
there's
bunch.
a good history there. I'd love to go back sometime and play another show. We had some cool bands, and I've heard like the noise scene there has been kind of flourishing in a nice way, and yeah.
There was always little pockets in New York that had good shows. Rochester, Binghamton. Did you have a circuit when you were coming up like that? Where,
Yeah.
because I think that's really got to come back. I think these radius clauses, and you can play Pittsburgh, but you can't play Erie, or you can't play Clearfield. I'm like, you should be able to just let the promoters duke it out. I really do. I feel like, especially, I feel like certain promoters, it goes back to the algorithm thing. Certain venues just reach a different audience. Or you ever notice that venues have their own kind of built-in audience, and there's people that like just refuse to go to certain venues?
Yeah. Oh, we had intimate experience with that, booking shows and festivals. Like in the early days of Escuela, we booked. See, this is the thing about when we started. Like, yes, we did have that like upstate New York circuit that we were doing, but we were all from different places like that. I'm from Western Massachusetts, so we had the opportunity to come out this way, and New York City was always like a logical choice for us to go to, and there was demand there and lots of opportunity for us there. But our drummer Jesse's from Dallas, Texas, so we would go down to Dallas, and it would feel like a hometown show. But we like consciously made the effort to be like, let's just go for it. And so we would go out to the West Coast and book these big like power violence concerts, like with our very limited means at the time, not always done the right way. But we would book, like, for example, we booked one of our fests at this tire shop. It's no longer it was like a chop shop essentially, but it was a great place, outdoors, real just bottom of the barrel, like limited as fuck in terms of what you could put in there and how much. It was just I thought it was a great vibe, great place, but it did, like, some people just would not go there, and like some bands would not play there. So, and so then you move it to another spot, and it's like a club, like a nightclub, and a place where they have shows. And it's like, oh, some people won't go there at all because it's a club and it's too corporate, and it's this. So it's never winning. But yeah, I've definitely experienced that a lot in the life of this band.
Today's episode is brought to you by Reigning Phoenix Music. We got brand new Agnostic Front coming out very soon, and I am so pumped. Go pre-order Echoes in Eternity now. 15 blazing new tracks from New York hardcore legends Agnostic Front. Big thanks to Reigning Phoenix Music. Check out reigningphoenixmusic.com after the show today. The link will be in the show notes. Make sure you support Roger, Stigma, and the boys, and check out their new album, Echoes in Eternity, out November 7th and available for pre-order now. Vinyl, t-shirts, CDs, and more. RainingPhoenixMusic.com. While I have you, go check out the new Many Eyes and the new Kirk Winstein records. Both are available over at martyrstore.net, and maybe you want the repress of the Jasta for All record. It's one beautiful green emerald swirl. We also have some restocks in Crowbar merch and Hatebreed merch, as well as Jasta tour shirts. So if you didn't catch me on tour with Life of Agony and you want to get a tour shirt, or maybe you caught us but we were sold out, like the first 2 shows, we sold out a small, medium, large. Sorry about that. But now they're up, available in the store. Martyrstore.net after the podcast today. Do some shopping and support the podcast and support the bands. Now back to the show.
So did it have a vocal PA, or was it like a real stage in a PA, or was it just floor and
Yeah, it
amps?
was like kind of like a pallet stage, if I can remember correctly. So shoebox area. It was in like downtown LA. It was in the hood. There was like a stack of tires that went up like, I don't know, like 18 feet tall, and people would like go up on the tires and watch. And there was like one dinky little bathroom, pallet stage. We like added like another like floor show area in the back, like just dusty dirt floor. It was police helicopters going over and stuff like that. It's just great. Excuse me. Damn, I think I lost you again. But yeah, anyone who's still hearing, who can hear me, Perez Tires. I thought that place was the shit. That place was awesome. Oh, no más Jamey.
Yeah, looks like we lost him for a second. He'll be back in some minute.
No worries. Hey, Mike.
Oh God.
Excellent. Shit, whatever old, out of date venues can I plug that make no sense? Perez Tires was great. Jamey brought up ABC No Rio, like their Exile shows were like pretty formative for us in the beginning when they were raising money to rebuild. Let's see what else. Silent Barn in Brooklyn is no longer around anymore, but that place was really critical in the early years. Shit.
Oh, cool.
Dallas, I mean, there's a million awesome venues in Dallas. We haven't played there yet, but Red Blood Club is under new ownership and management. That's cool to see. They've gone up and down with shows. Hey.
All right, so now I think, let me see if it connected. It said I needed a password, but now it says it's connected.
We can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. I'm like running, trying to find the piece of paper with the password on it. Okay, yeah, it says it's connected. Okay, great. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So when you do those shows like that, and I did those many times, like play at a mechanic's place where they like move the car that they're working on out and you set up. And then you go and you play like one of these festivals in Europe. I mean, it's what a trip, because you can do, I guess that's the beauty of it, is like you could just do it anywhere. But
we have
it is nice though when you have monitors. Like I never thought I would say that. Like when you have a stage and you have monitors, I guess also because I just had so many injuries, so many people biting me, scratching me,
Yeah, exactly.
like weird shit. Dudes grab your junk. Like it's just,
oh yes.
And I see it. I mean, I can't even imagine like what it must be like with y'all. I mean,
we've pretty much seen and heard and done it all in terms of that. I've had, crazy women, crazy men, all different types do crazy stuff, but it is the variety is the spice of life kind of mentality to it. It's cool. We could play like the Pink Whale and out in Europe, and it's like a dingy boat that you go and play on, and then you can play Copenhagen. Y'all played that the same year we did, and they got the trailers and the bougie, and then someone comes in and gives you, this is the security protocol. If someone comes in and does something wrong, it's like, wow, like it's it's like the spectrum, if you will, of what we can accomplish and what all those shows mean to, all the different types of people that come in through. It's really, I like it. I'm still down with it, but boy, do I always want to have a monitor.
Yeah. No, especially if you've got like 16 in a row or some insane schedule,
Mhm.
because it is the law of diminishing returns after a certain amount of
Mhm.
we were out with Obituary and they were like, I was like, why don't you add in a song? Why are you cutting the song? And John Tardy goes, well, over like 40 shows, that's an extra show.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
I don't even know how to think like that. I'm like, are you kidding? But then I sort of got it. Like, yeah, I guess wear and tear as you get older.
Absolutely.
But what do you do to take care of your voice? And do you have like a warm up, a cool down?
Yeah. Um, I try to. I run our merch and I like, I'm always was there like hanging out, meeting with people too. So it kind of limits the window in which I can warm up and stuff. But I do have a warm up and cool down. I use a lot of vocal fry techniques, so I warm up mostly with that. But um gosh, when I'm on tour, I try not to drink at all. I limit my smoking very, very low uh most of the time. Uh, it's almost like sometimes I oversleep, so I try and keep a schedule at least. Like that's the schedule goes a long way, I think. And hot showers because always have sinus problems. I'm vegetarian, so I probably don't get enough protein and stuff to keep myself healthy. I'm always fucking sick. I'm always hurting myself. Like it's just
Yeah.
I'm really bad with that kind of stuff, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, doing merch definitely doesn't help with keeping your voice going the whole time. I find that's really the point. Like the show is predictable. The show is choreographed. The show is like for the most part, like I know where my voice has to be. Even if I lose the monitor, I can still trust that the house person has my back, and I can keep things normal, and that'll go through. But like, oh God, the merch, it's like if you get someone really funny, you just want to like dance with them and you raise your voice, you're
You're
laughing, you're
talking over the band.
changing money, you're getting germs everywhere. Oh, in Europe, I love our Europe homies, but when they drink, they're always like they get right up in your face, and then the beer spits and all that
Oh,
stuff. I love y'all, but it's truly like the beer spits in Europe are real. Like I always get sick from that shit.
so
So
do you get sick on the road, or just is it like your body just shuts down when you get home?
both. Like I usually like get sick at the very end of the tour, and so like my last 5 shows are gonna be a little 3 to 5 shows at the end. And then when I get home, just like now, we just got home from tour. I'm still sick. But I think I
Yeah.
got sick at the Mall of America, so that's not really
Did
so
you get anything good? Did you get like
no.
your face on the Wheaties box or anything?
No. We never been, so we went and we met up with the band that we were touring with, Backbiter. They're awesome. Check out Backbiter. Biter, like hi. Um yeah, so
Backbiter.
yeah, Backbiter. Yeah, they're dope. They're Ohio based, really cool.
Okay.
More hardcore than leaning than the deathcore stuff. The mosh call outs, all that stuff. It's good. But anyways,
Cool.
like we went to meet up with them, and we didn't really do much because it was before, but we wanted to see like the roller coasters and shit, and most of the band went to do like laser tag or
Right.
something corny. But yeah, I got sick
Yeah.
somehow, probably from a
We've s
mall pretzel.
yeah, we spent a couple days there on days off and spent
Yeah.
a bunch of money buying stupid shit
Yep.
um but knock on wood, I've never really been sick ever on tour.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of due, but for what I do is I'll do like 50,000. And this is not medical advice, anybody, and I don't want to get thrown off of YouTube or whatever. Because I think we did have an issue with YouTube once when I said something about something like this. Um, I was doing 50,000 IUs of vitamin D a week.
Damn. Yeah.
And then I was like, liposomal vitamin C, zinc,
Yeah.
and especially during, everything that happened, not to, I guess now it's kind of in the rear view, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still weary of talking about it, even when YouTube is like kind of loosening the reins a little bit.
I know, I don't
But
blame you.
I'm thinking of going to Europe now, and I'm like, they're gonna look at my bag, and it's all vitamins but
Yeah.
you mentioned protein.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it too. Like
Oh,
beans
for
and
sure.
rice, just gotta load up on the beans and rice. I'm
Yeah.
always telling the vegetarian people,
Yeah.
like Carl from Earth Crisis, this motherfucker eats so much pasta. I'm like, bro, eat some beans and rice. Like, why are you
Yeah.
too much pasta and fake? That's the other thing with the vegan and the vegetarian food. It's so
The fake
processed. Like,
meat. Yeah, I don't
eat
do
it.
that anymore, really. I try not to. It's like I lost the taste for it, truly. Like when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is exciting. It's something I haven't had in a long time. But then like you truly lose the taste for it, I think. And like, oh, I would love to have a 90s like garden burger back. Like bring that shit back. Like
Yeah.
the real food, mush it. Yeah, but Europe's good with that. Like every place we play and they have like a band department or something, there's a vegan lady making you
Yeah.
real food.
Goulash.
Yeah, goulash. So I'm there
Yeah.
for it, but no, protein is when I'm on my shit, I'm doing the zinc, I'm doing like a protein drink. I drink milk, so they have these like milk ones. The Core Life is probably some like US
Right.
subsidized bullshit, but like dairy industry, but 42 grams in a chocolate milk, that's no brainer.
The
And then
Vega
those little
one.
like ginger shooters, I think those are good.
Yes.
For
Yes.
me, I don't know.
The Vega one, the Vega protein one, my
Mm,
daughter's vegan and she swears by that one. And I think it was
right.
when we had John Joseph on, he was saying that one was pretty clean and good.
Well, he's the
Um,
authority, so I gotta.
yeah, but he throws everything in the blender. He throws Brazil nuts in there. He
Oh
throws
yeah, that's good.
spinach, all sorts of shit. But yeah, that could be really rough. Like Frank, our guitar player, he's always getting sick on the road. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, you got to just overload on
Yeah,
the vitamin D, the vitamin C, the zinc, and I'll even fuck with like some elderberry, some
yeah,
echinacea. Like I'll get
kombucha or whatever. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. My
I've
mother
heard
does all that
oil of
stuff.
oregano. That's good too.
Oh, I love
That's a
that.
little. Yeah,
Like
I
when
like
you
that
go
kind
to
of stuff.
South America and you
Yeah,
maybe go to the wrong taco truck late at night, or even if you're in Germany or you go to Turkey, like we did Istanbul, and I went to the
yeah.
kebab stand,
Oh, that's
and I
awesome.
started right after that kebab. I was like, oh, I don't know. And then you take that oregano oil and it just kills everything.
Hell yeah.
Parasites, bacteria. I don't know. That's again, this is not medical advice, but so what do you got coming up? Where can everybody find you
Yeah,
aside from Summer Slaughter? And which dates are you doing on Summer Slaughter?
the first half. So everything up until Long Island. Yep, we're going on Summer Slaughter with y'all, Fugitive, Malevolence, Insight, so many bands. Once we're done with that, we almost immediately go over to Europe for our annual European bout. We're doing a bunch of dates with Prong on their
Nice.
album reunion, not reunion, excuse me, album anniversary tour. We're doing a show or two, I think, with Brujeria over there. Going to do the UK over there too. We're going to announce that really soon. A couple
Cool.
other little shows here and there with other bands, and then we're writing. Truthfully, we're working on a lot of different stuff at once. Sort of not sure if it's like album time yet, but it's like definitely like singles, covers. We've always promised these 4 genre EPs, of which we have 3 right now, and the last one we still have to do. So working on that and really honing in on sound. I'm not the type of person that's very musically inclined, like from the get-go. I really have to work at things. So I'm focusing a lot of my time and effort during writing on making it a whole band approach to the vocals and making it a whole band approach to lyrics, and also like improving skill just overall, trying to
Nice.
get better, so that's I hope what people are excited about and can expect from us. Other than that, we're always on the internet, always doing new stuff to share with our friends and fans, and hopefully this whole past year we've been doing a lot of different tours with different genres of bands. So I hope that kind of coalesces into more opportunities in different genres for us. So
Yeah, I think it definitely will. So when you say the other members are gonna have input, like as far as lyrics and stuff, so they
Mhm.
can bring you a topic or they can bring you an idea, and you're open to whatever. Like, are any topics sort of more in your wheelhouse or less in your wheelhouse?
I mean, I've tried to always kind of be like that, but the reality of how we've been writing is like, since we were touring so much, like it would get down to the buzzer, and it's like I've had, I like to have albums that have like overarching themes and stuff, so I come up with that, and then each song is a room in the theme sort of a thing. So by virtue of how we've been touring and writing, it's kind of been mostly me, which the way Escuela Grind does things, and especially how we do things now, like I want this to be everyone's approach. So yeah, it's we recently just wrote a song where all of us worked on it together. It's the lyrics, were pieces of it were written by everybody. The theme we all kind of came up with together, and like the direction of where we wanted it to go, we all worked on it together. So I like working that way. It's different from how we've been doing it, and if we're all
Nice.
to feel proud and excited about it, I think we truly all need to be working on it. I guess to answer your question, actually, I guess the themes we always kind of lean toward, themes I lead toward, and that I towards, and I think are successful for our bands, are like taking the usual tropes of things and doing them in a little twist to it. So I guess an example would be like "Always Watching You" is a song that we have that really leans on like those death metal, like I guess Pig Destroyer-y, like Prowler in the Yard type lyrics, like, oh, someone's watching me, someone's following me. But the twist on it is it's like, oh, is it a little girl? Because that's what I look like, or is it your cell phone? Like, what is it like? So we always try to have that little twist on it that gives a different perspective to like those tropes, I guess. So
Right
I think
on.
more of that.
What about an animal song? Do you have like a spirit animal song or even just an animal song? Like, how there's like a werewolf song, like Black Dahlia has one, or
Yeah,
there's Where Eagles Dare with
yeah,
Misfits, or,
yeah,
there, or it doesn't even have to be about an animal, but it could be like inspired. Are you
yeah.
open to that?
Oh yeah, we've done it before. So on our last record, we had a song called "Scorpion," which
Nice.
came from the overarching concept was dreams on algorithms, and it was like dream language and social media bubble algorithms, whatnot. But we were like, we want to make a song like what we heard from the Mortal Kombat soundtrack when we were young that got us into heavy music. Like we toured with Napalm, like Napalm was on that shit, like we want that Mortal Kombat soundtrack song. So we're like, all right, Scorpion, duh, like let's make a song about Scorpion, and let's make a song like what we would put on that soundtrack, sort of a
Yeah.
thing. So I think that's probably the closest to what you've
Okay.
described.
Yeah. I mean, an insect. Is it an insect or yeah, no, it's an animal.
Yeah.
Insects are animals. It
But it's
counts.
like a character that we kind of made into a fantastical character we put into a song. Like Always Watching You, like I did Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. Animals, uh like the stereotypical grindcore animals like vultures,
Right.
sheep and wolves and all that stuff. Yeah, that
Yeah.
might creep its way in there every so often.
Yeah. Did you see that last Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was fine. I think
Yeah,
we did it for our movie podcast. It wasn't bad, but I guess there's a
nice.
new one coming out.
Hell yeah.
There's
Well,
gonna
we're
be
not on the
another one.
soundtrack, so we fucked up there, but
Well, I think they fucked up the sound. Like the soundtrack game is just it's not what it was.
it's not. But there's some exceptions, but they're really standout exceptions, I think.
Yeah, that one I forget. I don't think they had any metal
No, I doubt it.
in
Yeah.
there.
I think like
Um,
video games have kind of taken over that space, and like having like the Cyberpunk game was huge, and it had like anti-gamma on the Cyberpunk game. Like that's fucking nuts. Like what?
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a very guarded world. Yeah, that's a hard one to get into. I did recently see an interview with Tony Hawk where he was talking about all the bands that he
Oh
chose
yeah,
for his games, like
yeah.
that. And I remember trying to get on those so hard, but
Damn.
it just always leaned
Yeah.
just. I
Skate
don't
punk.
mean, yeah, just lighter. And I
Yeah.
don't mean that in a derogatory way because I
No,
think
not at all.
they were always curated very well. But I always
Damn, you're
thought,
a
oh,
skater too, aren't you?
I mean, well, not really.
Or
Like
you were?
I gave up at like 14 or 15 because I hurt my knee and I was like, wait, I don't want to like have a sore knee on stage because I was already jamming in
Yeah,
bands and stuff at that time.
that's
And
funny.
I always thought it was crazy when people try to do both,
I know. Yeah, for sure.
especially
Actually, our drummer
Mike V.
Jesse was like that. Wanted to be a skater, and then when they started playing drums, it was like hurt yourself once, and then you're like, damn, I can't play drums no more. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, but respect to all the people that I've seen do it like with casts on and shit, like break their
yeah,
arm and then go do a tour, like Randy from Lamb of God or Mike V.
yeah.
Um, Mike V especially, I'm like, talk about concussions. And listen, he got a lot of flack for wearing helmets, but I
Mhm.
think it was good. And
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know, maybe at some of these shows, like when you're playing in the mechanics, fucking garage, maybe
yeah.
we gotta have helmets on because you only get so many. I was telling Ben from Dillinger Escape Plan, shout out to Ben. They played at the festival, and I
He
know
tumbled.
he took
He
a
took a tumble.
real
That
hard one.
looked
And I said,
savage. The in-ear thing going into his back, I was like, "Oh my god, no." Like, no.
oh, you only get so many. You got to really be careful. I
Yeah.
think after 4,
Mm,
you need to take some methylene blue, you need to take maybe some psilocybin, I don't know, like
yeah.
something to keep the shit firing or make those
Mhm.
connections.
Yeah, I believe
There's
that.
breakthroughs with the brain, but yeah, that's another reason. Like because we had the insurance policy, I was like, fuck it, I'll dive off the stage during Acacia Strain. But
Hell yeah.
normally, I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't wanna hit my head on the barrier or trust people not to drop you because 'cause I've been dropped on
Exactly.
my head so many fucking times."
Yep. Yeah, that's
Um, but for Stigma's 70th,
you're jumping. You're out there.
I might have to just, we'll see.
It'll be
So,
like that meme that's going around, the one gorilla versus 100 men. Vinny Stigma will be the gorilla, and there will be 100 men there ready
oh,
ready to
yes. No, there's
go.
gonna be grown men crying. I mean, it's gonna be no, it's gonna be incredible. December 6th, everybody go to Stigma's birthday party. I gotta get him on the podcast.
Hell
Before
yeah.
that. So do you guys play Long Island with us or you jump off
Yeah,
before Long Island?
yeah, the last show we're doing is Long Island.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's gonna be a rager. That's the best selling show besides I
Hell
think
yeah.
Oklahoma, besides like Dallas or Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'm excited.
that's
All
it's a
3. Those are
great
the 3
venue.
ones I'm most excited for.
They gave me a brick. I have it over here. They gave me a brick with our name on it
Hell
and the
yeah.
date of the show.
That's
And
awesome.
there's like secret rooms in there and stuff. There's like
Cool.
another bar. There's like another little venue in there, I think, too,
Nice.
where they do lounge acts. It's a shout out to the Paramount. Yeah, it's cool. Cool
Hell
spot. Well,
yeah.
Katerina, thank you so much for the time.
Likewise.
And we'll see you in what? A
I know.
month? Not even.
Yeah, like,
A month
25
and
days
5
or something
days.
like that, yeah.
We'll see you in
Thank
Florida.
you.
It'll be 105 fucking degrees.
Hell
Go
yeah.
go there a day early and go to shit, what was the fucking place that George from Cannibal Corpse just told me? He's like, "Oh, Busch Gardens." He's like, he
Oh,
lives in Busch Gardens.
that's funny.
I remember it
Alright,
being
we'll do it.
shot when I was a kid, like,
Yeah.
but I
I
guess it's
went
hooked up
once
now.
I went once when I was a kid, and they had, like, the only thing I remember is they had, like, a beer garden area with, like, the big German horn, like, motherfuckers. Um, that's all I
Yes.
remember. I'm sure
Yeah,
there
like a
was
little
other cool stuff too.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I guess
Hell
they
yeah.
got animals,
Oh,
they got, like, roller
yeah.
coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Um, we're flying right in from the UK, so I won't have a day to do anything, but I wanted to go to, what's the other place? Universal.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it's like a madhouse there. I've never been, there, but I've heard it's, like, been great. I guess they opened something recently, and it's just like a madhouse, so
I think it's
Ooh.
all the Universal Monsters or something. They have, like,
Yeah.
some new yeah, but July, you don't really wanna go there. I've been to Disney in late June, and it was like, yeah, it's torture.
It is.
But good chatting. Thank you so much, and you have to come back on when it's closer to releasing new music.
Absolutely. Love to. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks for reaching out and for the opportunity. You're the go, man. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Anytime. We'll do it again. And yeah, we'll see you in July. Everybody go get your tickets. Summer Slaughter. I think it's summerslaughtertour.com, or just go to hatebreed.com. And is it escuelagrind.com?
Yeah, escuela-grind.com.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, everybody from Patreon. Thanks, Mike.
Much love, y'all. Thank you, Mike.
Quick little outro, and thank you for listening in today. Go see Many Eyes on tour. Come see Jasta and Life of Agony on tour. The dates are up on all our social media, and they're up on my website. Check out my Patreon. You could have heard this way sooner if you just go over to patreon.com/Jasta. Subscribe to Gas Digital if you want to hear the archives. And big thanks to Reigning Phoenix Music. Go pre-order the new Agnostic Front album, Echoes in Eternity. Also, big thanks to Sumerian Records. Check out Face Yourself and their new EP, Fury. Got to give a big shout out, of course, to Blue Great Music. Check out all their awesome releases, Fugitive, Gridiron, and so many more. BlueGreatMusic.com after the podcast today. And yeah, come see me on tour. I'll be in Leesburg, Virginia. I'll be in Long Island October 5th. I'll be in Worcester October 3rd. I'll be in New Hampshire October 4th. Where else? We'll be in Reading, PA. Come out to the Reverb in Reading, PA. That's going to be awesome on the 1st. And then I'm taking a flight day of. Wish me luck. I'm flying all the way to Aftershock, and then I'm taking the red eye back to Worcester. I got Hatebreed playing Aftershock, so come over and check us out at Aftershock. And then I'll be right back in Boston at the Worcester Palladium. I'm flying into Boston, and I'm driving over to the Worcester Palladium. So I will see you guys there. Thanks for all the support, and I'll be back very soon with another podcast. Just in the meantime, drink your coffee, do your push-ups, listen to death metal. Bye-bye.